account, that is KCB operation account number 1158-022-113. The signatory is the county chief officer and the departmental accountant. For the account, the next account, KCB revenue account number 1158-028-296, the signatories are the chief officer and the departmental accountant. For the third account, name EcoBank account number 66-1041-28, the signatories are the medical superintendent for the hospital and the hospital administrator. The fourth account, SBM account number 40238079-701, the signatories and the revenue accountant or revenue officer. Name KCRH at Cooperative Bank, account number 011-0012-08-7, superintendent and the health administrator. Thank you, Chair. The social scheme at EcoBank account number 66, it is repeated, Chair. The signatories are the medical superintendent and the health administrator. Thank you. The NHIF bank at SBM, it's again repeated from the previous page. The signatories are the county chief officer and the revenue accountant. Thank you, Chair.
So, Senator Jasang, has that covered all the accounts you are raising?
Yes, Chair. So maybe just lastly, because of we don't have any certified bank statements. Maybe as they come, the 7 days you have given to submit other documents, they can also submit certified bank statements for these accounts. Thank you.
So, Governor?
I think the bank statements were part of the document that were audited, weren't they? And they should be available. Because how do you audit without looking at bank statements?
Auditor?
Chair, the bank statements are now available. They have been availed by the...
You have had an...
and they have been reviewed.
You have looked at them?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you can avail them to the committee, to the clerk. The clerk, please get the statements from the auditor for our consideration. Yeah. Volume 1, do you?
But for which financial year, Chairman?
Yeah, we don't have the volume. Okay, it's for 23-24. You have any more information you can give us?
No, Chair, I was just asking, as the Chief Officer for Finance was saying here,
Of the bank.
that's what
We'll provide them within the of the bank.
That's what
We'll provide them within the 7 days you've guided.
Okay. So, honorable members, and if there is no any further issue on this matter, we are 5 minutes away from the chamber. So I think the other, as we noted, that there were the issue of disclaimer, opinion.
Proceed, just for information. I'm sure members will be wondering how an entire county can have only one level 4 hospital.
Yes.
Because yes, KC had been auditing. Before we came into office, all the level 4 hospitals had been downgraded to level 3 because they were not measuring up to the services that were needed at that level. But from 2022, when we entered office, we've ensured now we have got 9 level 4 hospitals. I believe in the subsequent audit, all of them are going to be audited so that they start abiding by the law. And then you may not see KCH in our records again for the subsequent years because all the services have been moved to Amalo Kijana Teaching and River Hospital, which again for the record is a level 4 hospital. We do not have a level 5 hospital in Trans Nzoia. We simply moved the service from one level 4 facility which had been condemned because it was not good for human habitation, and moved the services to the Amalo Kijana Teaching and River Hospital. It's not even a referral hospital, it's a level 4 facility. That's just for information. So the next year when you're talking about Amalo Kijana, wondering where the KCH go, that is it. And then we're going to have more facilities audited because there are several of them that are at that level.
So honorable members, because of time, I think we are going to stop at that point. On the issue of disclaimer opinion, I have consulted the clerk and the auditors on it, and the position is that the 2024-2025 financial audit is about to begin. So I think the auditor will carry out that audit covering that period and taking into account that we have raised the matter of opening balances and the matter of closing balances for 2021-2022 and prepare an audit report for 2024-2025 that will cover all the matters that we have raised because a special audit, I'm told from the OAG, and Mark is here to confirm, because of the limited resources they have, they would want to combine it with the current audit, which is about to begin. After the county has submitted the financial statements for 2024-2025. So that will be covered within that period. And then this committee will have an opportunity to examine it as well. All I am asking is that the relevant documents that needs to be provided, please, they should be provided to the auditor to examine every aspect that is included in the financial statements for 2024-2025. Secondly, the issue of the borrowings, we also expect that it should be covered in the 2024-2025 financial statement. That means the refunds must have been paid by then, and we will verify that in that financial year 2024-2025. Then there is this problem of bookkeeping errors. We spend a lot of time on it, and we hope that in the 2024-2025 financial year, there will be no repeat of that issue. We expect the accounts to align to the template, the standard template that is provided by Treasury. That's the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board template. There was also the matter of internal governance, the failure to establish internal audit committee. I think that one, it is a matter that the auditor is indicating that the county is making progress because they are utilizing the county audit unit. We expect that this matter will be fully resolved when you come back. There is the issue of lack of policy documents, which again is a governance issue. Again, we expect that that matter should be concluded in the next audit. There is the matter of course, the other matters are bookkeeping issues, which we spend a lot of time on it, should also be addressed. And again, the information that we have required from the governor should also be availed, as I stated earlier, in 7 days. So, honorable members, unless there is any other issue, we have come to the end of this meeting. There will be no closing remarks because of time. I'll just declare the meeting adjourned until Thursday, 10 a.m.
And our situation in that to put like 60 million to lie idle in an account, and yet we need this money to complete this project before the contractor claims the same money. I think we can do it like in 2 financial years. We put 30 this coming financial year, and then 30 the next one, because I'm not seeing this guy completing this project in the next 1 year. But by the time, the only commitment I want to go on record, that by the time the defects liability period ends, we shall have money to pay the retention.
So, members, you have had that commitment. Any view, questions, comment before we move on? Okay, so honorable members, that brings us to the end of consideration of the audit report for municipality. And now we will proceed to the hospital, Kitale County Referral Level 4 Hospital. So the team from municipality, thank you very much. You can now cede space for the hospital. So the officers who have just come in, maybe Governor, you can help us in introducing them.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've been joined by the team that basically runs Kitale County Referral Hospital. I want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Your name and your designation, please.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is Dr. Simiu Judith, the Chief Officer, Health Services and Sanitation in Trans Nzoia County. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, my name is Dr. Anthony Omalo. I'm the Medical Superintendent of Kitale County Referral Hospital. Thank you.
Just proceed. We don't have any order.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. I'm Edwin Kiboy, Accountant, Department of Health.
Honorable Chair, members, I'm Godfrey Kiliswa, Accountant, Department of Health.
The Chair and honorable members, I'm Caroline Nalianya, a board member at the Wamalwa Kijana Hospital.
Honorable member, honorable chair and members, my name is Hilary Alugongo, Accountant, Department Health.
Honorable members and chair, I'm Bernard Mandekwa, Head of Treasury.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, my name is Andrew Epohulu. I'm the Head of Internal Audit, County Executive.
Very well, karibuni sana. So, honorable members, we will now look at the audited report for the financial statements of Kitale County Referral Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. I would like the auditor to make the initial reports on this audited report. Before you proceed to the query as agreed, we said that we will be very keen on query number 4, which is undisclosed revenue from exchange transaction, cash withdrawal from revenue account without approval of the board, and a reconciled revenue from exchange transaction, and weaknesses in revenue collection system. Those will be the main queries, but of course there are others which I will guide. But auditor, present your report.
Thank you, Chair. This is the report of the Auditor General on Kitale County Referral Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. The opinion of the auditor was a disclaimer of opinion, and there were various issues to do with the accuracy of the financial statements and supported transactions, which led to this disclaimer of opinion. There were issues to do with lawfulness and effectiveness in public, in the use of public resources, and there were also other issues to do with the effectiveness of internal controls and governance. I'll go to the issues. Issue number 3.
So, just a moment. So, honorable members, Kisang.
Chair, maybe before we go to the substantive queries, which I agree we will look at them, my worry is 2021-22, 2022-23, the auditor is saying you do not get any documents. So where did you get the opening balances for 2024-25? I mean 23-24?
How did you audit 23-24 then? Because if documents were not submitted, what was the reason for non-submission of documents?
Chair, that was the main reason why we gave a disclaimer of opinion, because we didn't have the opening balances
For the 2022-2023 financial year.
Was it then running under the executive? The hospital was not independent, or what was it?
Yes,
Maybe it's good to know if they were audited under the executive, or what was the reason?
Yeah, previously they were being audited under the audit of the county executive. But from 2021-2022 financial year, all are supposed to prepare and submit financial statements independently for audit. So in 2024.
And also, what is the correct name? Is it Gijana Amallo or Gitale?
So, Omalo Kijana is a separate hospital? Okay. So honorable members, I think maybe before we go to the queries that we picked, I think there is a concern here. The auditor has raised the issue of non-submission of financial statement and a reconciled revenue from exchange transaction and weaknesses in revenue collection system. Those will be the main queries, but of course there are others which I will guide. But auditor, present your report.
Thank you, Chair. This is the report of the Auditor General on Kitale County Referral Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2024. The opinion of the auditor was a disclaimer of opinion, and there were various issues to do with the accuracy of the financial statements and supported transactions, which led to this disclaimer of opinion. There are issues to do with lawfulness and effectiveness in in the use of public resources, and there are also other issues to do with the effectiveness of internal controls and governance. Go to the issues. Issue number 3.
So, just a moment. So, honorable members, Kisang.
Chair, maybe before we go to the substantive queries, which I agree we will look at them, my worry is 2021-22, 2022-23, the auditor is saying you do not get any documents. So where did you get the opening balances for 2024-25? I mean 23-24? how did you audit 23-24 then? Because if documents were not submitted, what was the reason for non-submission of documents?
Chair, that was the main reason why we gave a disclaimer of opinion, because we didn't have the opening balances from the 2022-2023 financial year.
Was it then running under the executive? The hospital was not independent, or what was it? Yeah, maybe it's good to know if they were audited under the executive, or what was the reason?
Yeah, previously they were being audited under the audit of the county executive. But from 2021-2022 financial year, all are supposed to prepare and submit financial statements independently for audit. So in 2024.
And also, what is the correct name? Is it Gijana Amallo or Gitale?
So Omalo Kijana is a separate hospital? Okay. So honorable members, I think maybe before we go to the queries that we picked, I think there is a concern here. The auditor has raised the issue of non-submission of financial statements for 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023. And that means there was no audited report for those 2 financial years. And that raises a concern how now the current statements, how did they get the opening balances? So that is another one issue. The other issue is that we have noted that there were a number of bookkeeping issues. One serious bookkeeping issue is the lack of a general ledger and the trial balance. Another very serious bookkeeping issue is inaccuracies in cash and cash equivalent balance. Another issue is poorly maintained cash book. Another issue is undisclosed inventory. Another very important issue, which is issue number 14, non-compliance with the approved financial reporting template. So, honorable members, I think we need to start from there. We need to start from there to really understand from the county and the accountants what was going on in this case. I can see, Mark, you are raising your hand. Maybe we can start with you.
Maybe, Chair, for context is that a disclaimer of opinion means that the auditor could not make an opinion. That when you look at the cash and cash equivalents without a properly prepared cash book, you could not form an opinion, and that's what basically it means. That the disclaimer means we could not establish the accuracy of the figures stated in the financial statements. Thank you, Chair.
Senator Mbogwa?
Maybe, Chair, before we proceed, we need to know the name of the person who signed these financial statements, and also to know whether he's present with us here today.
Auditor, can you give us the name of the accountant who signed the statements?
Chair, from the financial statements, the accountant or head of finance who signed the financial statements is Edwin Kiboy.
Edwin?
Edwin Kiboy.
Edwin, are you here? What is the ISPAC number? Use the mic, please.
$11,472.
Tilak, can you check?
Maybe Chair, even as the crack check, maybe can you confirm to us whether you are the one who prepared the statements or you just signed?
I am the one who prepared.
Chair, the status is not in good standing. Bwana Kibor, he said, Kiboy, why are you not in good standing?
Thank you, Chair. I have not attained the required number of CBD. I attended last year's conferences, but I did not meet the threshold. But this year, I will.
That he avails resources for you to attend these trainings. Why haven't you? What is a good reason that you have not been?
I attended one conference in Mombasa. So this year, I hope I will attend other 2 more so that I can be in good standing.
Chair, I want to help before you come in. Just before you come in, Chimera, can you tell us, have you in your trainings, have you been trained on the accounting standards template? In this case, the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board template.
Yes,
have you been trained on that?
Yes, yeah.
How come you didn't apply that in your statements?
Okay, thank you, Chair. When I was preparing the financial statement for the financial year 22-23, we had a bank account that was new. So I had an opening balance of...
No. I'm asking you, don't tell me about the banks. You know, a template is to do with the presentation of financial statement, preparation of the financial statement. Why didn't you comply to the established accounting template? And that should be a very basic thing for even a junior accountant. Why? Can you answer my question? There are members who have questions here they want to ask you.
Okay, Chair. I did not, especially the first part of it. I encountered some difficulty in getting some board members' information at that particular time.
Okay, I want the members to ask you questions through your governor. Let's start with Senator Chimera.
Now that the accountant chair is saying he was not compliant with his CPD for last, is this all year? Because you need to be compliant in the previous year so that you can be in good standing for this year, isn't it? So now that you missed your CPD points for last year, are you telling this committee that the whole of this year you cannot be in good standing with your to do your CPD trainings for last year? When you are training for this year, my understanding is you are complying for next. 2024. So that this year, I'm eligible to take out a practice certificate to practice. Is that the same case with accounting? Only like I have a 2-year-old son. Let me assume I'm talking to, he's called Kwame. To be compliant for the next year to practice. True or false?
True.
And you didn't attend that number of training. This year. Yes or no? Thank you, Chair. But Chair, maybe perhaps I also, before I forget, I have listened to the auditor, and his comment is that, I think it was Mark was trying to tell us that from the report, the auditor was not able to form an opinion over the financial statements of this entity. Now I'm wondering, Chair, if we are to sit here as a committee while the auditor who needs to guide us on all these many issues and queries cannot in his own wisdom and words form an opinion on that report, Chair, how then do we proceed as a committee? And perhaps maybe governor needs to weigh in, because it appears it is a very adverse report. Probably the governor would need more time to go and put his house in order so that we come with a good report that we can discuss. Yeah. If the auditor cannot authoritatively comment on the statements, I don't understand why we should continue looking at those audit queries.
When we were meeting in our pre-meeting, we identified 3 issues. One, the issue of inaccuracies, errors, and commissions by the finance team, which we are now addressing. Then there was 2, the issue of a disclaimer opinion. Then 3, we isolated a few queries, which we thought that even though the report is a disclaimer opinion, I think it's important for us to weigh in on those 3 queries, the ones I've mentioned. So I think what we are doing now is, first of all, to deal with the issue of and the issue of fiduciary risk, which we need to look at. Senator Hamida?
No, Chair, I'm just wondering. But then I also concur with Senator Chimera that this one requires a special audit. But then I just want to know how long he has been in the county.
Senator Mbuku.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think I can't remember which county had appeared here, and we resolved that we should be having the representatives of ISPAC here. Because clearly, if you look at the issues which we are interrogating the county, and the CEO is here, clearly there are issues to be do with accounting. And I think ISPAC should come up with a policy on what is supposed to happen, because clearly, Governor, the person who is handling your accounts is not qualified. And every year, because you can see even the way he's not qualified. And I don't know what your comments are on that.
Qualified is qualified, but you should talk about competence. He's not competent, because even the way he is answering questions.
Mr. Chairman, maybe the supervisor of this accountants with the chief officer can say something.
Chief officer?
Thank you, Chair, for affording me this opportunity, perhaps to lay a background on why we are here with this 2023-2024 financial year statements. First, Chair, as you are all aware, that for the period 21-22, 22-23, we were not able to submit financial statements. Why? Because when we took over government, we had various challenges, particularly in terms of accessing of the records in the health sector. And we took it upon ourselves when the auditors requested for 2023-2024 financial year statements. We moved in very fast and ensured that we come up with 2023-2024 financial statements. An issue of us not having 2021-2022 financial statements, we failed as accountants and as a county that should not prohibit us from availing financial statements and records for 23-24 because we must start from somewhere, Your Honorable Chair. And when the auditors came on the ground to do the audit, we were not able to submit the required financial statements, previous financial statements, but we agreed that going forward, because we must start from somewhere, these balances will be stated in 2024-2025 financial year, so that we can be able to go forward as a compliant county. Otherwise, retain the state, then it means that we could not even be here because we will not be having any financial statements in place. My humble plea, Honorable Chair, is that as you have guided that we allow and proceed with matters that may affect our running, because we will also draw lessons from that, and going forward we'll go and ensure that we implement the recommendations of this committee. We kindly request that as we go back, we will be able to finalize on 2021-2022 financial statements, 22-23, so that we avail them before the auditors with a view to ensure that we get balances that then state in the financial year 2024-2025 for us to be able to go forward on a clean slate. That one can be confirmed by auditors, particularly on the issue of restatement of balances that can be adjusted in subsequent financial year. Thank you very much, Your Honorable Chair.
Sure. Tell us about the opening balances. Where did you get the opening balances?
Particularly due to our accounting procedures, sometimes you are allowed to use incomplete records to form a basis on how you can proceed with the accounting issues that underlie in financial statements. And actually what we used were incomplete records, of which if we go back, Chair, we can be able to get a full basis and ensure that we go forward as a compliant county. Another issue of our accountant who has been found not to be in good standing. Actually, the Accountants Act allow that you can be able to get cumulative CPD hours for the 3 financial years for you to be in good standing. So if we can be able, the way we have laid a ground as a county to ensure that our accountants are well capacity built, we will facilitate and ensure that he accumulates enough CPT points this year to be compliant. Thank you very much, Chair.
Chair, thank you. Through you, Chair.
We are doing it as an issue to address capacity issues, and I think the committee should be actually bear with us when it comes to such a kind of issue, because His Excellency has been very clear. When you look at our budgets, we have training budgets for each and every department, and that's why he's also wondering why they are not compliant or they are not in good standing.
Chair,
yes.
The CEO is saying that they be given time to go back and you come back with full reports, but we are 2.5 years down the line and he's not been able to do anything. So how much more time does he need if for the last 2.5 years you've not been able to comply?
What I said, we took action as an administration to ensure we corrected the situation. And what we did, we relied on incomplete records to ensure we construct financial statements for the financial year 2023-2024. Going forward, what I was requesting is a window to allow us confirm balances in 2021, 2022, 22, 23, so that then we can restate those balances in the current financial year, and going forward, we'll be able to move forward as a compliant county, and this committee will have done us good so that we can be able to rectify the situation.
So how much time, Chair? Can you say how much time you need to do that?
We can be able to settle that before the next audit cycle. That's 1 month.
Chair.
Let's have Senator.
Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I've heard the chief officer clearly, and he says he needs 1 month to get these records right. So I'm also just wondering, as my colleague has just asked, that if he has taken 2.5 years, close to 3 years, and he's not come up with any records that he can substantiate that these were the correct opening balances and stuff, how will he manage to get these records within a month, Chair? I'd like him to make us understand.
CEO.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. For matter of record, I'm 1 year old in the office. So I've not had the 1.5 years that my Honorable Senator is referring to. It's this administration that took that first action of ensuring that we comply by ensuring that we are audited as an entity. All we are saying is that we are taking responsibility, including responsibility of the previous regime that failed to prepare and we did not want to come here to lament or to pass the buck. That's why we took a decision to ensure that we fix the issue in 2023-2024 financial year. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may add, in order to prepare some of these financial statements, you need primary documents. Now, when we took over government, one of the biggest challenges we faced was documentation. I don't want my chief officer to give a commitment without appreciating whether he is going to locate these documents or not. Some of the documents that have been provided here were discovered just as happened chance. You are walking around and you find a document on the floor, you read it, and you discover it's a relevant document. It's not there's a box of documents somewhere that we're going to uncover and therefore develop these balances. And in the corridors, you also hear that some documents were actually destroyed. They were burned. How do you get these documents? But we are saying because we are being audited for the first time, we try to come up with something to form a basis for subsequent audits. And although the auditors were not able to be given documents at the time of audit, through this process of kupekua here and there, we've been able to provide some basic information on these issues that they have looked at. And though they may not be 100% satisfied, I'm sure they can form a basis for us now to start auditing these entities. Because then if we still don't have the balances for 2021-2022, to form a base for 2022-23, for 23-24, then we'll not have any audits going forward. At some point, maybe we may have to decide to bite the bullet and see what to do, so that subsequently we have audits. Otherwise, in my thinking, somebody can go out there and manufacture these things. Let's manufacture these things. And I don't think it's a good way. It's good also to be honest at some point that we do not have this information. We did not get this information as we entered office. And that's why we are struggling. Otherwise, just get the bus for 2022, we develop the others very, very quickly because the closing balances are very clear. So where are you going to get the closing balances for 2021, 2022 if we don't have the records? And then we're going to be creative out there.
Senator, let me start with the Senator Chesa.
Chair, items, audit queries you had identified while we were not here that we need to look at, that eventually will also assist the county in the next audit cycle. So I was saying to make progress, maybe we need to look at those ones. And then now, what the governor has said, some documents are not there, unless maybe we can give them time as we discuss this. But the governor said there might be no documents. We could live with what we already have and also give them time to go and sort out 2021, 22, 22, 23, if they ever get documents, or unless you want to ask for a special audit. You know, those things are there. Otherwise, you know, we will just continue, Chair, and by 2:15, we are required to be in the house. You can either say we do a special audit for those 2 financial years, or we live with the balances that we already have, and we discuss the 3 items that will also help them, because you've seen the chief officer is very competent.
And at you, and then we make progress.
Chair, I think I'll also request that maybe you invite the ESCC, and also I request for a special audit for this account, and we cannot because I'm just thinking that maybe some of the members here, maybe 1 or 2 members who are actually signatories in these accounts before. So I don't understand how we can say we cannot find opening balances for those accounts. So I think we should request for a special audit, and also invite other organs to do this special audit.
The aspect of special audit, we have engaged OAG previously on it. Maybe I would like to hear what, Mark, you have to say from your perspective.
Thank you very much. Indeed, you have requested the Auditor General to conduct special audits whenever you, as a committee, thought it best to handle it. But on this one, Chair, the challenge is the issue of failure to prepare financial statements for the previous years. Therefore, we could not establish the opening balances. My submission, Chair, or on behalf of the office, is that once, if these are able to be provided, the 2021, 22, 22, 23, and then they can restate the figures, and we can look at this as a prior year audit in 24, 25. That then can be the basis of a request for special audit, because what we find in 24, 25 then will be based on opening balances that have been verified and established by the audit teams on the ground. That will be my submission, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments based on what the auditor said? Financial statement, which has put us in this problem. To read out the provision on non-submission of financial statements. What is the implication?
1. Commits an offence that is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years, or to both. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I think you have heard that. If you don't submit financial statements, I know 2021, 2022, Governor, you are in the Rift Valley trying to fight cattle rustlers. So we need to know who was there in 2021, 2022, the CEC, the chief officer, and the main accountant, who was supposed to submit the financial statements. I think we need a statement on that matter because this is where the problem started. So, Governor, maybe how much time do you need to submit that information to us?
Or even this afternoon. There are just 3 people get their names even now.
Yeah, so you can indicate their ISPAC numbers, if they are members of ISPAC, and their full details. So the committee will retreat and make a decision on what to do with those people, based on what you have read. The legal officer, you said, what are the penalties?
The penalties, Chair, are as that is a fine not exceeding 5 million shillings, imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years, or both.
Yeah, so honorable members, I want us to proceed with the issues that we had identified, and then we'll come back to the decision on the special audit after looking at those 3 issues. So, Auditor, please take us through query number 4, which is undisclosed revenue from exchange transaction.
Thank you, Chair. The statement of financial performance reflects revenue from exchange transaction from rendering of services, that is medical service income, amounting to Kenya shillings 157,130,036 as disclosed in Note 2A to the financial statements. However, review of records revealed that the hospital had a private wing called Mount Kenya Elgon Hospital, whose revenue totaling Kenya shillings 8,432,601 from medical services and national health included in the revenue from exchange transactions. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of revenue from exchange transactions could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your response?
Our management response, Mr. Chairman, is that Mount Elgon Hospital is not a private wing of Kitale County Hospital and operates independently at level 3B hospital under master facility list code 15239. The revenue of Kenya shillings 8,432,601 is accounted for under Mount Elgon Hospital. And we have attached the evidence as Annex 4 on page 261.
Auditor, your comments on the response?
Chair, through review of documents provided to the auditor as response to this issue, we were able to confirm that Mount Elgon Hospital is an independent hospital. It's a level 3 hospital. And therefore, this issue was addressed. Chair, the expenditure under Mount
Is it the amount from the hospital pool account or it is from the executive account?
This is the money that was transferred to Kitale County Referral Hospital from the revenue account.
So this money came from the executive?
Yes.
To Kitale Referral Hospital?
Yes.
And then the 8 million from the same?
The 8 million, the auditors thought should also have been included in the revenue of 153, so that 157.
So the 8 million is from 157?
No, it's not included in the 157.
It is a direct transfer from...
To Mount Elgon now.
From the county?
Yeah, but the auditor thought then that Mount Elgon is part of the Kitale County.
So the issue here is the confusion
yes.
of whether Mount Elgon is part of Kitale or is separate.
Yeah.
Okay, honorable members, your comments?
Chair, there's no comment there. There was confusion from the auditor. The auditor thought Mount Elgon is a private wing of Kitale County Referral Hospital, and there's no query. Chair, in fact, I thought it was a private hospital. Chair, even I was also confused. I thought that was a private hospital. Mount Elgon, most of the people from Elgeyo-Marakwet County is an urban region. They actually go there. We are those are the customers are majorly from Elgeyo-Marakwet County, and we've been thinking, or I've been thinking myself, it's a private hospital.
Initially it was. Somebody had grabbed it and made it a private hospital.
I hope it was not from Elgeyo-Marakwet.
It was recovered. Somebody from Elgeyo-Marakwet actually.
It must have been him. Okay, any other query on that? Okay, let's proceed to the query number 5, cash withdrawals from the revenue fund without approval from the board. Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Review of the bank statements revealed that management withdrew cash amounting to Kenya shillings 120,142,103 from hospital's revenue account at a local bank without approvals from the board. That some transfers were made to an operation account in a local bank whose cash book, bank statement, and bank certificates were not provided for audit. Further, the reconciled account balances were not disclosed in the financial statements. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of the transactions and cash equivalents could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your response?
The management response. The hospital revenue account is a pool account that receives revenue from all hospitals in the county, and therefore attributing the withdrawals of Kenya shillings 120,142,103 is not accurate. The total value transacted through the hospital revenue account was Kenya shillings 219,897,868, of which Kenya shillings 120,142,103 was queried as cash withdrawals. Management accounts for these withdrawals as follows. AI is to facilities 28,191,114. Bank transfers 82,500,989. Cash withdrawals 9,450,000. Total 120,142,103. Management confirms that the 9.4 million shillings was borrowed for the devolution conference of 2023 and has since been refunded in the current budget, while the Kenya shillings 82,500,989, the one referred as bank transfers, can be accounted for as is in Table 3. Annex approved budget, stock board minutes and AIs, annexures, volume 3.
Back to the auditor.
Thank you, Chair. A review of the responses and supporting documents by the auditor revealed that only 9,450,000 Kenya shillings was cash with supported by any document, and therefore the issue was partially addressed. Thank you.
Volume 3. Can someone guide us? Yeah.
The volume 3 from it?
You can tell us the page number.
And this one? And this one?
He's looking for this appendix. So they have this.
Do they have this?
Yes.
You have appendix 1, this. This one, question 5.
So what is this? Maybe you can
for the money, the 100 and it's about the bank transfers, the 82 million. I've got the IEs totaling 28 billion. Then the cash transfers.
So, honorable members, the floor is yours.
Of note, Chairman, that the account does not solely belong to KCH. It's a collection account for all the facilities, including KCH.
So the board minutes are on which page?
Volume 4.
Thank you, Chair. Governor, I would
by the auditor, it was internal borrowing by departments to enable them participate in the devolution conference. And the money has since been budgeted for to be returned to the hospital this current financial year, the coming financial year.
So that was a borrowing.
The borrowing.
But you know the law requires that such a borrowing must be refunded back within a year. Should be refunded back within 1 year after borrowing. So.
Chair, I believe it was a borrowing. Isn't there supposed to be documentation supporting the borrowing? Yeah.
I just wanted to ask the same question that Senator Tobiko asked. I thought the board seeks to approve these kind of transactions, be it even if it's internal borrowing. How can just someone wakes up and they just do their normal borrowing without approvals of the board? Does the law allow that?
So maybe, Governor, you can respond to that, and Chief Officer Health and Hospital Superintendent, you should also be in a position to assist the Governor on this matter.
And maybe, Chairman, just to go on record, I just wanted to inquire who are the signatories of these accounts?
Who are
the signatories of these accounts?
Chair.
Yes.
And just wondering, has it gone through the county assembly? Because section 142 requires that it has to be approved by the county assembly.
Borrowing. Maybe to go systematically, Mr. Chairman, there was a communication between the Chief Officer of Finance and the Chief Officer for Health Services regarding this borrowing. And of course, the money was desegregated between
the board and the county assembly.
The money was borrowed from the account of the board. We are saying that this account for all the health facilities. So therefore, the KCH role has got no account specifically for Kitale County Hospital. We had no exchequer releases. They came, I think, in September, around the devolution conference.
Chair, can we hear the comment of the auditor about this, and also hear what the law such a borrowing?
Evidence to show the agreement and approvals for such withdrawals. Thank you.
And Chair, that is exactly what we are asking. Then can we also hear the law, what the law says about such a borrowing, that internal borrowing, the process of it?
Legal counsel.
Okay, through chairs, as been rightly observed by senators, on borrowing by county government entities, it is provided for under section 142 of the PFM that provides that the county assembly may authorize short-term borrowing by county government entities for cash management purposes only. And then subsection 2, any borrowing under subsection 1 may not exceed 5% of the most recent audited revenues of the entity. And subsection 3, a county government entity that has any such borrowing shall the money borrowed is repaid within a year from the date on which it was borrowed. Thank you, Chair.
So, Chair, through you, Chair, do we have any document to show that this money, this process was followed properly through the county assembly, the board, and refunded within the timeline given by the law?
Clarification, is this borrowing external or internal?
It talks about borrowing, does not specify whether internal or external.
So the county government is borrowing from itself?
Yes.
So does that law apply?
As indicated under that section, it applies through Chair. unless there is an exception under Act, that is PFM, or any county legislation if it exists on borrowing or lending money by the county government. Chair.
Senator Mudama.
Yeah, I was asking, I was waiting for the response of my question, Chair. And Governor, don't labor so much to answer these questions. Let your people whom you have given that responsibility answer these.
You can be given the mic, Sergeant Data.
Maybe before I contribute, let the CEO of Finance.
Is it Machakos? Was about whether the county assembly, as His Excellency the Governor has observed, it was an internal borrowing, but that notwithstanding, Honorable Senator, we have a debt management also regulates the way the county engages in borrowing matters. Thank you, Chair.
Yes. Our debt management strategy. You should says about internal borrowing and the necessary approvals that are required. So,
Chair, I will allow that all matters we may direct when we can be able to provide the required documentation. Thank you. I'll request that in your declaration you may allow when we will provide documentation that each and every documentation that maybe will be out of this process you will require to have. Then we can do it at once.
7 days, because the things we have requested are not like we requested for the names. The governor said even today he can provide. So we are giving you 7 days.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
So, Governor, please respond to, is it Senator Mudama? Sorry, I walked out briefly for...
No, Mr. Chairman, all I wanted to say is that we have admitted to borrowing, internal borrowing, because we did not have any budget for the devolution conference. I don't think even if it's allowed. I don't think if the controller budget will allow it, because we always have issues with these conferences and even subscriptions to COG. There are laws responsibility, but we were supposed to participate, and that's why we borrowed. And we are admitting that we borrowed this money that's supposed to be refunded. The communication between the Chief Officer for Health and the Chief Officer for Finance actually is very clear that all the departments that were facilitated should be able to refund this money in subsequent budgets. And this was in 2024. The subsequent budget, I think, is the current one. So really, we have not really we've delayed so much, because this was it was in August of 2024. So the year is not over, and I'm sure we're going to have it funded within the year, as stipulated by law.
So on that particular borrowing of 9.4 million, I think the law says very clearly, the PFM, that such borrowing must get approval of the immediate board and the county assembly. You know, they say the law is an us, so we just follow what the law says. So, and that it should be repaid within 1 year. So, therefore, since 1 year has not elapsed, I am directing that that money be refunded before the end of the 1 year. Yeah, so before the end of 1 year, that money has to be refunded, and then you communicate to this committee through the auditor, confirming that the refund has taken place within that period, the remaining period before the end of the year. Senator Chesang, do you have any more question on this?
No, Chair, I asked about the signatories of the said accounts.
Yes, signatories.
Not just that one, Chair. Just before I forget, does it mean that these borrowings, because we have a board for this hospital, so what is the work of the board if these approvals can be made, maybe just through internally without involving the board? Then, Chair, not just you know these transfers that we are talking about, the transfers and the withdrawals were made to different accounts, Chair. So maybe if we can get signatories for both accounts in different local banks. Several of these accounts, there are a number of accounts that transfers were made.
Chair, the attorney said that the CEO was to talk and then he comments. He's the one who should be given, Chair, all the questions that we are asking, Governor. And you guys are just...
Senator, just a moment. I want us to proceed systematically. Let us exhaust the matter of Senator Chesang on signatories, and then we come back to the attorney to respond to this. But take into account, I've already ruled that the money be refunded. So, Governor, respond to the matter of signatories.
So, can I be specific about the accounts?
Let him respond first to the signatories.
So that he can respond to all the accounts that I'm requesting for the signatories.
Okay. What do you have now?
There is the County Government of Trans Nzoia Hospital revenue at KCB. To be specific, account number 115-8028-296. There is also County Government of Trans Nzoia operational account KCB, account number 115-8028-113. Then there is a Kitale County Referral Hospital operation. That is account number 011-0012-087-0001. That is at Cooperative Bank. And finally, there is a Kitale County Hospital Social Scheme. That is account number 661-000-4128 at EcoBank. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, point of order, Chair.
Yeah, what's your point of order?
What's the standard procedure? Because I thought the senator for the concerned county, when he appears as a member, as a friend of this committee, I think these documents should also be tabled before the committee procedurally, whatever accounts he's talking about.
Let me consult. Let me just deal with this matter. The clerk, the senator has asked, what is the standard procedure? Because the senator of Trans Nzoia being the senator of the area, has a better understanding of his county than all of us. But then we need to align that to the standard procedure. So the clerk, you can tell us the standard procedure which will allow the senator to provide what he has.
Thank you, Chair. The information that the senator is providing is information that we would say is secondary to the issues that are being discussed in the audit report. And there is information that the office of the clerk is not privy to. So we would request that, as per the procedure, is that the information is submitted through the office of the clerk, and it will be received by the committee, and it will be treated as now part of the documents that are supporting the queries that have been raised by the Auditor General. Thank you.
Well, I will give the directive that since you know, that's why we allow senators of the respective counties to sit in our meetings.
Maybe before you give that directive, just 1 second.
Yes.
Audit number 6. That's all that information you're asking for. Audit query number 6. Look at our response has listed all those accounts.
But Governor, I don't see any signatories for these accounts here. I'm not seeing any signatories here.
You can give the signatories now as a subsequent question, supplementary question. You can provide now.
Okay, so these are the accounts that you have?
Yes.
EcoBank, Cooperative Bank?
SBM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you can give us the signatories to those accounts.
So the chief officer, you can give them.
The chief officer.
Thank you. The first account, that is KCB operation account number 1158-022-113. The signatory is the county chief officer and the departmental accountant. For the account, the next account, KCB revenue account number 1158-028-296, the signatories are the chief officer and the departmental accountant. For the third account, name EcoBank account number 66-1041-28, the signatories are the medical superintendent for the hospital and the hospital administrator. The fourth account, SBM account number 40238079-701, the signatories and the revenue accountant or revenue officer. Name KCRH at Cooperative Bank, account number 011-0012-08-7, superintendent and the health administrator. Thank you, Chair. The social scheme at EcoBank account number 66, it is repeated, Chair. The signatories are the medical superintendent and the health administrator. Thank you. The NHIF bank at SBM, it's again repeated from the previous page. The signatories are the county chief officer and the revenue accountant. Thank you, Chair.
So, Senator Jasang, has that covered all the accounts you are raising?
Yes, Chair. So maybe just lastly, because of we don't have any certified bank statements. Maybe as they come, the 7 days you have given to submit other documents, they can also submit certified bank statements for these accounts. Thank you.
So, Governor?
I think the bank statements are part of the document that were audited. Weren't they? And they should be available. Because how do you audit without looking at bank statements?
Auditor?
Chair, the bank statements are now available. They have been availed by the...
You have had
and they have been reviewed.
You have looked at them?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you can avail them to the committee, to the clerk. The clerk, please get the statements from the auditor for our consideration. Okay. Volume 1, do you?
But for which financial year, Chairman?
Yeah, we don't have the volume 1. I'm told it had some errors, so. Yes. Okay. So
all the bank statements are in volume 1 of our next year's.
Okay. So you can be provided before you leave for Kitale?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Chairman.
For which financial year, Chair? Just to be specific.
The year under audit.
For 2020, because we are dealing with the 2023-2024. I'm presuming it is for 2023. Auditor, what is financial year?
23-24 financial year.
23-24.
Yes.
Okay, it's for 23-24. You have any more information you can give us?
No, Chair, I was just asking, as the Chief Officer for Finance was saying here, the most importantly, I was requesting for 2021-22.
21-22?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 21-22. Now we have for 2023-2024, but what about for 2021-2022? 2022-2023?
22?
23.
23.
Yes.
Commit, if they're not here, we'll provide them.
Okay.
The bank statements, you can't hide
So,
in the bank. Just get them from the bank.
That's what
We'll provide them within the 7 days you've guided.
Okay. So, honorable members, and if there is no any further issue on this matter, we are 5 minutes away from the chamber. So, I think the other, as we noted, that there were the issue of disclaimer, opinion.
Proceed, just for information. I'm sure members will be wondering how an entire county can have only one level 4 hospital.
Yes.
Because yes, KC has been auditing. Before we came into office, all the level 4 hospitals had been downgraded to level 3 because they were not measuring up to the services that were needed at that level. But from 2022, when we entered office, we've ensured now we have got 8 9 level 4 hospitals. I believe in the subsequent audit, all of them are going to be audited so that they start abiding by the law. Ondoe kienyeji ambayo iko huko. And then you may not see KCH in our records again for the subsequent years because all the services have been moved to Amalo Kijana Teaching and Referral Hospital, which again for the record is a level 4 hospital. We do not have a level 5 hospital in Trans Nzoia. We simply moved the service from one level 4 facility which had been condemned because it was not good for human habitation, and moved the services to the Amalo Kijana Teaching and Referral Hospital. It's not even a referral hospital, it's a level 4 facility. That's just for information. So the next year when you're talking about Amalo Kijana, you'll be wondering where the KCH go. That is it. And then we're going to have more facilities audited because there are several of them that are at that level.
So honorable members, because of time, I think we are going to stop at that point. On the issue of disclaimer opinion, I have consulted the clerk and the auditors on it, and the position is that the 2024-2025 financial audit is about to begin. So I think the auditor will carry out that audit covering that period and taking into account that we have raised the matter of opening balances and the matter of closing balances for 2021-2022 and prepare an audit report for 2024-2025 that will cover all the matters that we have raised because a special audit, I'm told from the OAG, and Mark is here to confirm, because of the limited resources they have, they would want to combine it with the current audit, which is about to begin. After the county has submitted the financial statements for 2024-2025. So that will be covered within that period. And then this committee will have an opportunity to examine it as well. All I am asking is that the relevant documents that needs to be provided, please, they should be provided to the auditor to examine every aspect that is included in the financial statements for 2024-2025. Secondly, the issue of the borrowings, we also expect that it should be covered in the 2024-2025 financial statement. That means the refunds must have been paid by then, and we will verify that in that financial year 2024-2025. Then there is this problem of bookkeeping errors. We spend a lot of time on it, and we hope that in the 2024-2025 financial year there will be no repeat of that issue. We expect the accounts to align to the template, the standard template that is provided by Treasury. That's the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board template. There was also the matter of internal governance, the failure to establish internal audit committee. I think that one, it is a matter that the auditor is indicating that the county is making progress because they are utilizing the county audit unit. We expect that this matter will be fully resolved when you come back. There is the issue of lack of policy documents, which again is a governance issue. Again, we expect that that matter should be concluded in the next audit. There is the matter of Of course, the other matters are bookkeeping issues, which we spend a lot of time on it, should also be addressed. And again, the information that we have required from the governor should also be availed, as I stated earlier, in 7 days. So, honorable members, unless there is any other issue, we have come to the end of this meeting. There will be no closing remarks because of time. I'll just declare the meeting adjourned until Thursday, 10 a.m. Thank you very much.